We're filming?
Yeah.
Okay. When I was in college, I drove too fast. When I was in my, late 20s, or maybe early 30s, 2004, I didn't drive all that fast, but I had a few times when I was, when I made mistakes on the road, when I moved violations. And at the time, I mean, it's not a excuse, and it's not a good reason, but it is a reason, that I'd thrown myself into starting and running a nonprofit organization and wasn't attending to a lot of the important elements of my personal life. You know, my physical health wasn't as good. I was essentially couch surfing on and so I'd have to, because I didn't have money for rent, and you know, I was running a nonprofit organization and not getting a salary from it, and I had a self-inflicted combination of working, 13-hour days, but not getting paid, and I failed
What part now?
invest in
What part now?
Say again?
What part now?
So why is it a problem now?
Yeah.
I've had two moving violations in the last 8 years.
Yeah.
So I think that it is. I've had nothing since the election started, and no.
How people find out?
How do people find out?
Yeah.
It's public information.
Why not? Why right now? Why?
Why is it an issue now?
Yeah.
I think because I don't know, and I've been confused about the same thing.
My bike.
You've had the same problem with your bike?
I hit my wall.
You've run it. People give you a hard time because you run into stuff.
Yeah.
And
I was at one point now. I feel.
you know how it feels to have people give you a hard time about
Yeah.
it? But
I'll help him.
you want to help him?
I feel my back.
At your bank, you
Yeah.
broke off a door frame?
Yeah. I feel about pity him. I'm gonna pity him.
You want to...
Pity.
You feel pity for him?
Yeah, I feel.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Do you agree with Laddie?
I don't know if I deserve pity, but I do appreciate your empathy.
Empathy? Good word.
Why we want mayor?
So why do you want to be mayor?
Yeah.
For the same reasons we talked about before.
Now.
Now there's a countdown?
Yeah, why I want to mayor now? Last time, now mayor.
Last time, when you talked last time, he wasn't as close.
Yeah.
Right. But it remains the same reasons, because I see, as my hometown, I want to make it better. I think that this city has a duty to our neighbors, but also to the way that people think about how cities can work, and that our city is supposed to be special. And I think that means it needs to work and work better and work for more people. And I see what is faced by people who live in my part of town. It's faced by people across the city, and I think there's some things we can do to help.
We go my bed.
A week ago?
Not my bed.
Your bed.
To him.
About your bed?
Yeah.
So Laddie got a new bed for his home.
Oh boy.
And he has a bed with like a motor in it, so it raises and tilts. And you got a replacement because the motor is going out. And then, but the whole process, you filled out lots of forms. They call you back, tell you they don't have all the forms, and then
Waiver.
you had to sign a waiver, some sort of Medicare waiver, and then after all is said and done, they want you to pay extra because they think that you can get by with a hand crank bed, which is frankly a little ridiculous. So
I'm doing Medicare house of all person now. What yesterday? We went yesterday.
I'm sorry?
We went yesterday.
Yesterday?
At night we went.
Watched the convention last night? Democratic?
I'm gonna have to watch it on tape. I was working all night until midnight.
Oh God. Medicare.
All the talk about Medicare and
Yeah.
everything?
I'm having Medicare.
You've had it with Medicare?
Oh, wait, no. Call 100 phone call.
You made 100 phone calls
Yeah, my bed.
just for a bed?
Yeah, I got the paper.
They said the paperwork's not done.
Yeah. What we do to help Medicare, please tell me.
So, do you have any ideas for how to help Medicare?
As mayor of Portland, my role with Medicare delivery will be very small, and I think there are some, very small. I think there are some things we can do to try to impact healthcare costs in the city. I think there's some things we can do to try to pool some of our purchasing power to impact, sort of bend the cost curve of healthcare. I think we might be able to improve. There's a couple cities that have some tools we don't, because we're precluded from by the state from raising certain local revenue.
Liberal?
What? I tried to remember.
Waivers?
Need to be.
Need to change that?
It shocked me.
It shocked you?
Remember.
The waiver?
Yeah. You gonna tell me?
Nobody told you?
No. Me, think it's shocked all off.
For you to be shocked about
Yeah.
something in Medicare?
Yeah.
It's a surprise.
But and when they want done, okay, now all done. Oh, one more question.
One more question?
I need chair.
Need a chair?
Yeah.
Do you want to ask him about Clint Eastwood?
Yeah. Yeah.
About my empty, you wanted me to talk to an empty chair?
Yeah.
If you're in your chair, not in mine. No, I think it's. I'll say this, because there is so much conversation out there. Let me finish on this one. Let me make sure you get a chance to say this whole thing. And it's good to see you, by the way. Because there is so much public conversation about what scoundrels politicians are, because the media spends so much of their time going after politicians, going after elected leaders, going after government, because there's been a right-wing movement that has gone to call into question public structures generally. I think there's a sense out there that what politicians do, what elected leaders do, is easy, and that and you get somebody like Clint Eastwood, hey, this is a rare communicator, this is a rare actor. I mean, this guy's really talented, and so he'll go up there. He doesn't need to probably prepare very much, right? I mean, this is Clint Eastwood against some politicians. What he doesn't recognize is that what Bill Clinton does, what Barack Obama does, what lots of members of Congress do that nobody has ever heard of. What lots of people aren't elected to anything but do participate in the public conversation engaged community organizers, what they do is very hard. They might not get paid very much, right? They might not get a whole lot of love from the community or the media, but what they do is very, very hard. And so what I felt when I saw Clint Eastwood was empathy. And recognizing that is actually, that's pretty hard. And you know, the fact that people don't fail at it all the time is in part because they've done it lots of times.
Empathy? You weren't a big fan of that?
No, I'm different guy. I'm different.
You're different?
And talk to the cause pick it up.
You don't sugarcoat things?
No, that's people do.
Some people do?
Yeah, my boss,
Your boss?
and pick it up.
He sugarcoats things?
Yeah, not me.
Not you?
I'm a real guy.
A word guy?
No,
You say what you think?
yeah. Just yeah. Nah.
Some people will cut off part of what they want to say?
Yeah. Not me.
You're a straight shooter?
Yeah, I think all of us have competing values. All of us, I think, have a value that we want to say what we think, and almost none of us want to be assholes, and none of us want to be jerks. None of us want to be mean. I'm glad you don't know what asshole means. That's good. It's a good sign. You're more virtuous than I.
I do. I do.
And so you know, sometimes what we're doing and trying to find the right balance between being empathetic and not being a jerk, but then also saying what we think. I mean, that can be hard.
I'm mayor.
If you're mayor? If you're mayor and you're what group?
What bureaus?
Yeah.
What bureaus will I take if I'm mayor?
If you're a jerk, what?
No,
If a guy is a jerk, what would you do about it?
Well, it depends in what way.
Big nose, what's his name? Big nose guy.
Big nose guy? What's his name?
Tall guy.
He's a tall guy?
If you describe it that way, I can't make guesses because I don't think anybody might guess wrong. Criticizing.
How many in the group now?
How many are in the group now? Are you talking about City Hall?
Yeah.
Like commissioners?
Yeah. What would do?
If one of the commissioners is being a jerk,
Yeah.
what would you do about it?
Yeah.
Well, it depends what we mean. I mean, each commissioner is independently elected. They don't work for me, they work for the city. They work with me. And what I hope we'll do is create a mood at the city that is willing to argue, that is willing to disagree, that is willing to find the hard part, but that is collaborative and trusting in the important ways.
I almost got water.
Water?
Fluoridation.
Fluoridation.
It's a hard one for me. I've always liked our water how it is. But ultimately, we're healthier. Portland is healthier than in most cities in the country in almost every measure, except for dental health, and they were one of the bottom in the nation. Well, according to Pew and according to Centers for Disease Control and a lot of other folks I trust, the number one reason is because we're one of the only places that doesn't fluoridate our water. So where I land is that I do think we should have more public discussion, more public process before we do it, because people care a lot about it. And in that public process, based on the science I've seen so far, I would be in favor.
My opinion, no, I'm not, please.
You don't support it?
No, it's hard. I heard more about the whole world.
Hurt the whole world?
Yeah, green.
It's not very green, or
The one green, the one that called.
are you talking about the environment?
Yeah, bottom.
You hear that it's a problem for the environment?
I heard they were doing it yesterday.
Some
Radio.
You've heard it on the radio. Some other people have told you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of criticisms, and I've heard, but up to now, I mean, the amount of fluoride they're talking about putting in the water here is less, I think, about a tenth of what naturally occurs in Colorado's water, and their health and environmental impacts of that have seemed, you know, I've seen no real evidence of any real harm. I know it makes people nervous, I'm empathetic about that. I appreciate that.
One problem, I had parts of it. I'm fun today. But
You want it to be a little more lighthearted today?
I'm hard. I hope it no parts of it.
The politics this week, it's been hard for you.
Yeah. Abortion.
Abortion,
Handicap.
handicap,
Job.
jobs.
Politics not kids no more.
Politics isn't.
Not kids. I do it. My not care.
They don't care about.
People no more.
Nor it doesn't seem like politics are focused on normal people anymore.
Yeah. Agree?
Do you agree?
I don't know if I agree. What
I see where you're coming from.
Tell me, man. Tell me. Tell me.
Tell him.
Yeah.
If I agree with you,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I see where you're coming from. I see your point of view.
Tell
But I
me.
don't know if I agree.
Why?
I think that. Well, let Jefferson speak first.
No, I am the first.
You asked him first.
Yeah. I don't know why. I don't know why.
he didn't agree to get interviewed.
It's fine.
I don't know why. I don't know why.
You'll say why
I don't know.
after he answers your question.
Yeah.
To answer your question, okay. I mean,
It's a hard question.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Why?
I think at its soul, politics is still about the people and looking to secure the best interests of the people, right? This both sides, just because the ideologies conflict so much now, there's such partisanship, and
Oh,
it doesn't seem that way. It is now just sort of a battle.
why? Because
Why you asked that question?
I don't buy. I don't raise space.
You don't want to seem biased.
Not buy. Not black. No. I'm black.
He's
Because he's black?
No. What color?
what color?
No, black. I'm not racist.
You're not racist.
No.
Well, that's good. Thanks for sharing.
What's the word you're looking for?
Yeah. Some people, white people care, but
Some people care more about, or
Are you looking for a different word than black?
yeah.
African American? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah.
All right.
Some people care more.
Some people care more.